real cases before a real judge.
And now, enter the courtroom of Judge Mathis. Plaintiff Stephanie Woods met the defendant in college, and before they rented an apartment together, the defendant joined a sorority. Stephanie says the defendant and her sorority sisters constantly partied in their apartment, and she's suing her today for rent, damages, and lost wages. Defendant Tequila Murray says when she rented an apartment with Stephanie, she had no idea she was a nymphomaniac who constantly had sex toy parties. Tequila refuses to give the rent money to Stephanie because she believes she will spend it on more sex toys.
Let me hear from you first.
I met Tequila through the Groups program.
The Groups program?
Yes.
A group home?
No, it's a first generation low income opportunity for students to go to college.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. During this time.
Which university?
Indiana University in Bloomington.
Great, go ahead.
During this time, we decided that we would end up being roommates, which I thought was a good idea. You know, living in Bloomington in a one-bedroom apartment is very expensive. We lived together for 2 years. Tequila ended up joining sorority before we moved in.
What sorority?
Delta Sigma Theta.
All right. One of my favorites. Let's go ahead.
Being that this was a first generation, you know, opportunity to attend college, I took it very seriously. And I thought she was going to do the same thing as well. Our first year living together, everything was good. I kind of felt like she wasn't that much involved in her sorority. But then our second year living together, it became more evident. She would go to parties, they would come over, have parties at the house, beer bottles and alcohol bottles all on the counter. Me being a neat freak, didn't say anything.
Deltas don't do that, do they?
There's so much more that I have done.
Do y'all do more than that?
No. What I mean to say is that I've done so much more involving myself with my sorority than she can sum up to us merely drinking.
Yeah, they do a lot of volunteer work.
We do many things on campus, off campus, in the city, throughout the United States and abroad.
Deltas are well known for that, as are the AKAs. Both of those sororities are very well known for that.
And that I do agree with. There's been plenty of times.
To take a drink or two. Just kidding. I don't know that to be the case.
I can agree with, you know, she does a lot of good work.
Community work, good.
Yeah, because there's been plenty of times where we've gone to Walmart in the middle of the night and brought stuff for events that they've had on campus.
Good.
So that is a good, you know, positive aspect of it. Being that there are like bottles and stuff all on the counter, me being a neat freak to keep peace in the house, didn't say anything. There have been plenty of times where she ended up getting locked out the house after she came back. I don't know if she remembers it.
No.
That was that drinking. She don't remember nothing. Go ahead. Just having fun with it.
There was also incidents where we both went out together and she parked on the side street.
When she would be having a drink as well.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But I was not driving. Where we parked on the side street and a cop car was coming down the street. We can both agree that the cop car did not have lights on or a siren.
Correct.
And they were speeding. And I guess, didn't see the car and pulled out and hit the cop car.
Hit a police car?
That's actually not true. The police hit me on my side. So, just to clear up that miscommunication coming from her.
Let me hear from you. Give me some background on you all's rooming situation or anything else you want me to know.
I would love to. I did agree to live with Stephanie while we were attending Indiana University. However, I did not know the type of person that she is, which is a nymphomaniac that basically has these sex toy parties, inviting these middle-aged women. Yes, Your Honor. She invited the middle-aged women that she worked with, Your Honor.
What sorority you in? That's the sorority we want to know about. What sorority is
that? She's explaining how much of a neat freak she is, but she definitely is not. She would invite people to our house and they would just be around with her basically having their sex toys on the table, their creams, their pheromones. The old ladies will be smelling it like you just really made me
enough. That's enough.
And then, but Your Honor,
go ahead.
She did not even invite me firsthand. I would be on campus, and people would walk up to me and say, "Oh, are you coming to Stephanie's party later on?" And I say, "Party? I don't know of any party." And they say, "Oh yeah, the Evite is on Facebook, and that is my first piece of evidence that I have for you."
See what you have. She's suing about this rent. I guess that's going to be part of your defense.
And lo and behold, Your Honor, I would go home. You had to get out of there, huh? Yes. Lo and behold, I would go home on a Sunday, the Lord's Day, Your Honor. And there would be old women just sitting all around, Your Honor.
Old women sitting all around. Maybe that's having Bible study or something.
Ain't no Jesus in that. Ain't no Jesus in that.
What would they be doing?
They would be smelling their creams, trying the lubricants, Your Honor.
What is the smelling of the cream?
I don't have anything to do with that. You would have to ask.
What does the smelling of the cream do?
These parties are pure romance parties.
I want to know what these creams do, though.
The creams are, a lot of them are.
Why do you smell them? What is the effect of smelling them?
Lubrication, so you smell how it smells. Like the strawberry, orange.
Oh, I got you. All right.
It's nasty. It's nasty.
Well, ladies, it's time for the annual Pure Romance Party. This year, she will have many new products and games. If you are unable to attend but would like to place an order, please let me know and I'll provide you with an order form and catalog. Now, I don't know about this, ma'am. Let us know if you want new or previous. I'm not even gonna go there, man. That ain't right. Y'all not right. I'm just kidding. It doesn't say that.
Needless to say, I didn't want any involvement in it, and neither did our third roommate.
That's very popular for ladies now. Don't you try to be so up in it and act like you don't know that goes on.
She has attended.
She's come, right.
Yes, and she is.
Here we go
and bought the house out, didn't she?
She has not brought anything. She has not brought anything, but she has been there for the beginning, and then she had to leave to go to her event.
left because I was uncomfortable. Let the truth be told. She would invite people to our house, and they would just be around with her, basically having their sex toys on the table, their creams, their pheromones. The old ladies will be smelling it like you just really made me
enough. That's enough.
Plaintiff Stephanie Woods rented an apartment with the defendant, and she claims Stephanie was a nymphomaniac who often had middle-aged women to their home for sex toy parties.
Let's get back to the lawsuit, ma'am, about this rent and damages you're suing her for. How does she owe you for that?
Me being the first person on the lease, I'm the primary person. So Elkins is coming after me for May and June's rent, which she owes.
That's
I have
not
a breakdown
true.
of
Let's
everything.
see it, please.
That's not true as well.
What's not true?
Your Honor, they're coming after each of the roommates for their individual portions.
But she says she's the primary lessor. Is that true?
Not to my knowledge. From my understanding,
that you're the
I
primary?
do not have the lease with me, but I do have a ledger from where she did not pay May and June's rent.
Do you have any notification from the landlord?
I also have a letter from the landlord.
There you go. That's what I need.
With all the breakdown, she says that it is due within 30 days.
She moved out early, but did you pay the rent when you were there?
For the 2 months that she's speaking of, I did get behind on the rent. However, I don't feel like I owe it to her. I owe it to the landlord, which I have been communicating with. I feel like she's just taking it upon herself to try to get the money as quickly as possible by basically coming for me.
Well,
I've already talked with them.
Unfortunately, ma'am, this is...
it's addressed to me.
Yeah, Stephanie Woods.
So they're holding me accountable for it.
Please remit payment in 30 days. You're going to hurt her credit. But since you were going to pay, you can just pay it to her. It'll be fine. Everything
Your Honor,
will be worked out. Yes, ma'am.
How would I know that if I was to even give her the money that she wouldn't just run off and maybe buy some more products with it? How do I know that? How do I know? I don't. So
Tell you what, why don't you write it to Elkins Apartments because you haven't paid it yet, have you?
Right. No, I have not.
All right, give this to her. You write it to Elkins Apartments and we'll be all set. $874 is the judgment. Yeah, I'm giving you everything you asked for.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No
I'm
problem.
getting like her. You
No
want
problem.
the cash personally.
She does.
Because
Fully
we were,
proud.
I see for certain,
part of that-
for certain purposes.
Part of the 800.
For certain parties. Write the check to the apartment like I told you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
She has attended some of these parties at the beginning. You were there, and you said you had a sorority.
I did.
event,
I
so
definitely
you
did
had
not. I gave the excuse that I was leaving for other things because I was just uncomfortable with you constantly having these parties without our permission in our house.
It wasn't constantly. There were 2 a year, and
The annual and the semi-annual. I mean, when else? Valentine's Day, Christmas.
There's only
we need
2
to have
a
these parties
year.
all the time. Be real. They made me uncomfortable. I don't like
you
it.
should have
I'm
said
not
something
down with
about
that.
him. Our other roommate didn't say anything
I'm
about
saying
it.
it now.
This is past it. It's late.
And that's fine.